I'm Sharon Mehra from Tata Digital, your navigator for today's power-packed evening. I'm excited to welcome our chairman, Chandra, our group CEOs, the Tata Digital team, and our esteemed friends from media here and online. On the evening of 7th April, Tata Neu went live to the world. We knew that everyone was eagerly waiting for the super app from the House of Tatas. But all the excitement and love that Tata Neu has been receiving has been truly humbling. But how did it all come about? And what makes Tata Neu so special? So, over the next hour, we'll take you through Tata Neu's exciting journey. I'm sure Tata Neu has made it to all your screens. If not, then this is the time for you to kind of get it on your screens. But we'll still give you a short preview of what's to come. There will also be a power-packed photo op introducing you to the Tata Neu family. And finally, we'll open up the floor for Q&A and continue our chatting over wine and cheese. And now, I'd like to invite our chairman, Chandra, to kick off this very special evening.
Good evening to all of you. Such a pleasure to meet with all of you on the eve of this press conference on Tata Neu. Hopefully many of you had a chance to look at the app. Maybe some of you had the opportunity to shop as well. I think the purpose of my talk to you today is to explain the philosophy of Tata Digital and Tata Neu, and what have we launched and where we are going with the whole Tata Neu app and the ecosystem. As you all know, India has a huge consumer base that is increasing every year. They are highly aspirational. They want better life. They want better education for their children, access to better health care, better job, a better quality of environment, and what have you. And our purpose at Tata Digital is to be a trusted partner for better life of an Indian consumer. We believe today there is no solution, you call it an app, you call it an ecosystem, which fully addresses this holistically, specifically developed for the Indian context and for the Indian consumer in mind. We are fortunate to have a brand that has a lot of love and trust. Over the last several decades, at the Tata Group, we have created several consumer platforms, from fashion, apparel, to groceries, electronics, to hotels, financial services, and so on. But all of them operate in a siloed fashion. What we have done with Tata Neu is to bring it all together in one single platform. Many of those brands are part of the app that you see today, and others will follow. Sure enough, it has brought in a lot of synergy for the group, but more importantly, it has massively expanded the value proposition for the Indian consumer. With the breadth of possibilities in product commerce, service commerce, and importantly financial services, we believe we will shape this to be a one-stop place for meeting the demands of the Indian consumers. And it is our dream to see this evolve, fully integrated into the life, to achieve the day-to-day living in a better way for every Indian consumer. So what is our playbook? The core playbook for Tata Neu and to grow and impact the Indian economy and the Indian consumer is rooted in the idea of Digital. I have spoken about Digital in the past. But Digital fundamentally believes in the huge, unique human potential, human resources that's available in this country. It will play out and manifest itself in many use cases of the Indian consumer by leveraging digital access, offline presence, tech innovation, and the human potential that is available in this country. Now, what is our value proposition? Our value proposition is to simplify the life of Indian consumer. The consumers spend time in so many different platforms to accomplish the day-to-day needs. Could be products, could be services, could be financial needs. Our aim and goal is to think through every situation in the daily life of the consumer and bring those use cases in a very seamless way and stitch them together into our super app so that life will be hugely simplified, time could be saved, and anxiety could be removed. Now, where have we started? We have started with One Tata. What we have launched today is the first version of the app. It's a starting point. Today we see many of our brands in the app, hugely connected together with a value proposition of a globally innovative loyalty program, New Coins and New Pass. New Pass not only is a loyalty program across every touch point where you can easily earn and consume effortlessly, but also has an integrated financial credit line which makes it instant loans very easy, and hence the consumption becomes far more simpler. But the New Pass value proposition will continue to get enhanced, be it in terms of free delivery in some context. In another context, it could be more benefits, it could be upgrades. We have lots of thoughts on how powerful New Pass can be given our entire ecosystem that we have today and that will come tomorrow. We are working on a number of categories. We are also working on a number of services. And all of this you will see in the coming months and quarters. And in addition, we are also working on a number of tech innovations, including a AI-driven personal assistant for every consumer. All of this will be designed in such a way that simplify life theme continuously gets enhanced and the value proposition realized. The other point that I want to really mention is that while the launch we have made has all the products and services from the Tata stable, Tata Neu is an open architecture. Our aim, I repeat, our aim is to ensure that Tata Neu becomes that super app which simplifies the life and meets the demands of every consumer from a product, services and financial needs point of view. And for that, the offerings may come from the Tata stable or it may come from outside. New Pass will also go beyond Tata Group at some point. The other point I want to say is that this is not only an opportunity for us from a business point of view. I think this is a huge opportunity for us to make an impact in a massive scale in the lives of consumer and contribute to India. This whole project has taken us about 2 years. I often read newspaper headlines saying that after much delayed, timescale Tata Neu has been launched. From our point of view, there was no delay. We were calibrating it all the way on when to launch it and what to go with, and we came out at the right time. We are really overwhelmed with the response in the last few days, be it in terms of the downloads, in terms of the transactions. It is receiving a lot of support. But at the same time, there are a lot of critical inputs coming, a lot of questions coming. We want them coming. It is so important for us because I believe any consumer platform has to be built only with inputs from the consumer. That includes you and me. And we are looking forward to more such inputs, if I may say so, criticism, constructive feedback, whatever it could be, that will help us think harder and enable us to build a platform which truly will achieve its objective. And I believe in Indian economy. It is a very strong economy. We are going to see it's going to 5 trillion and then to 10 trillion. The per capita income is going to double and triple. And all of this is a brilliant opportunity for us to shape Tata Neu to be the go-to place for every Indian consumer. And we will have more ideas as we go along. But our objective and purpose will remain the same. The ideas that we get will accelerate our journey, will fine-tune our offerings and be more effective towards achieving that objective of simplifying the life of Indian consumer and be a partner of choice, a trusted partner, and hugely get integrated into the daily life. Thank you all for listening. Huh? Pardon? Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you so much for sharing. If you could just stay on stage. And with this, may I request and introduce you to the large Tata Neu family. I'd start with inviting Mr. Prateek Pal, CEO, Tata Digital. Mr. Mukesh Bansal, President, Tata Digital. Mr. Saurabh Agarwal, Group CFO. Mr. Puneet Chhatwal, CEO and Managing Director, Indian Hotels Company Limited. Mr. Hari Menon, CEO and co-founder, Big Basket. Mr. Modan Saha, CEO, Financial Services, Tata Digital. Mr. Abhijit Mitra, CEO and Managing Director, Infinity Retail Limited. Mr. Rajiv Sabharwal, Managing Director and CEO, Tata Capital. None other than Ms. Aarti Subramaniam, Group Chief Digital Officer, Tata Sons. Mr. Vikas Purohit, CEO, Tata Unistore Limited. Our very own Mr. P. Bankat, CEO and Executive Director, Trent Limited. Mr. Prashant Tandon, CEO and co-founder, Tata 1mg. Mr. Nilesh Garg, Managing Director and CEO, Tata AIG. Last but not the least, Mr. Sunil Bhaskaran, CEO and Managing Director, AirAsia India Private Limited. So this is one power-packed photo opportunity for all the group CEOs of Tata.
Not all the group. Huh? Sunil, you want to come this side?
Yeah, I'll get balanced.
Huh?
Thank you, everyone. This is one power-packed frame, and the family will only grow bigger. Thank you so much, everyone. As we settle down, it's now time to dive into the world of new. And here we go.
This is a brand new beginning. Welcome to Tata Neu, India's first super app. Everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of this tap. So let's begin. Neu is a world of infinite possibilities and limitless rewards. From gadgets to groceries, fashion to finance, health to hotels, we have it all, and we make everything rewarding. With Neu, you and your family can indulge in our incredible offers, curated experiences, and unbelievable benefits from all your favorite brands. Tata Neu is the power of many in one. Introducing our most powerful, one-of-its-kind Neu Pass. your key to unlocking privileges unlike anything you've experienced before. All your multiple benefits across brands now collapse into your singular new pass, becoming even more powerful. Free deliveries from Big Basket. Free lab test from Tata 1MG. West Style Club membership and red carpet services from AirAsia India. Make traveling in style your thing with New Pass. And this is just the start. We are doubling the happiness on your shopping sprees. New Pass holders will earn a minimum of 5% new coins every time they shop, fly, travel, or order on Tata Neu. New coins are your reward points, but better. 1 new coin is equal to 1 rupee. The ease with which you can earn and spend your new coins will make this your favorite new currency. Let's say you wish to buy an air conditioner this summer. You browse, you select, you buy, and your air conditioner is on its way. Along with the 1600 new coins you just earned. Spend these 1600 new coins anywhere across our brands to continue shopping. How about some summer wear? There, that shirt looks great. Don't forget to use your new coins at checkout. Congratulations, you just bagged your summer best look for next to nothing. As we said, fashion to finance, we have it all. Let's check out the financial products that are designed to address your lifestyle needs and keep your monies in great shape. Oh, and there's more. Something of special interest to you. Our collection of stories to inspire you to live the good life. Topical, trending, and rich content across our categories to help you make better purchase decisions. Explore all this and more on Tata Neu.
Tata Neu, indeed, a rewarding world of infinite possibilities. With this, we now open the floor for Q&A. So for the first 15 minutes, we'll take questions from our friends present here with us. And the last 5 to 7 minutes, we'll take questions from our friends who've joined us online. We have people on the floor with the mics, so please do reach out to them. And I would request all of you to keep the questions related to Tata Neu. Floor for Q&A. I would like Mr. Prateek Pal, CEO Tata Digital, to come on stage. Thank you, Mukesh. So we now open floor for Q&A.
Excuse me here. This is Yash Jain from CNBC TV 18. I just had a couple of questions. The first one was, in the market today, do you have any other contemporary which caters to everything that you do? And if yes, then what are those couple of things which really, differentiate this particular app? The second one, if you could explain to us how the revenue model as far as the app is concerned, how the commercials work for the company. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. Good question. So,
Closer. I think closer to him.
can you hear me? Yeah. Okay. So, as Chandra had said, I think if you have heard him, our app is a combination of, he said, product commerce, services commerce, and financial services. Now, if you look at the market, as you rightly said. We believe that we have built a very unique and differentiated proposition. The reason is this combination of doing products, services, and financial services is something that is very unique in the market. That's number one. Number two, we have today a very strong physical footprint, which is in terms of stores, in terms of hotels, and very strong, we call omnichannel footprint. Our proposition is a very unique combination of providing omnichannel services, combining this very strong physical footprint and online services. Now that's again a very differentiated and unique proposition that we have. So if you really look at these two, and the third one, which again was explained in detail by Chandra, the whole unique value proposition of probably the most unique loyalty program called New Pass, which combines new coins, credit limit, and all benefits. If you take these three together, we truly believe that you have a very unique and differentiated proposition. That's the first part of the question. The second was on your commercial model. All we can say is that we have worked out a very strong commercial model with all the brand companies, and everything has been worked out, and I will leave it at that. Thank you.
Hi,
Utkarsh Chaturvedi.
Shilpa here from CNBC again. Sorry, just a quick one or two questions here. So you did mention during the press conference earlier that you've received a lot of response with respect to transactions and downloads. If you could share a few figures, what's the kind of transactions that you've seen on the app since the public launch, and how many new sign-ins you've seen? That's one. The other one also, are you looking at raising more funds, external funds, for the development of the app? And Chandra sir also mentioned that you are taking a lot of feedback in. There has been a lot of feedback that has come with respect to the app being slow, with certain glitches on the app. So if you could talk to us about how you're working on fixing these glitches, and a newer or the other version of the app, when can we expect that? Thanks.
Let me take it and let one take that.
So the first part of the question is, till date today we have in the last 4 days around 2.2 million downloads. We have a significant number of transactions. We have similar around 2.1 or 2.2 million enrollments. So, and that's from 7 till today. So obviously the numbers speak for themselves. Related to your, I'll come to the fundraise the last, and maybe Mukesh can add to that. Related to your question of the glitch, see, if you look at it the first day, and it's a good problem because we had unprecedented demand. The glitch was only for 3 hours, from 8:30 to 11:30, where we had OTP problems, and because of the surge in traffic that happened. But post that, we have stabilized it very nicely. So after that, some of the problems that were there on the first day have not occurred. So the app is in a stabilization phase, and we are very happy with the progress with stabilization that has happened post the first 3 hours of the first day launch. Second part of the thing that talked about glitches and constant evolving, as Chandra said, look, we are committed to providing the best experience to the consumers. We are committed for the best customer finesse that we can provide through our app. It is an ongoing journey. We are extremely passionate about it, and that's the journey that we are into, and you will see significant improvements as we go down to the journey after taking the customer feedback.
Yeah, with respect to funding, etc., right? See, right now we are very early in our journey. I think absolute focus, as Prateek said, is to build outstanding customer experience, have full coverage across all products, categories, services, etc. A lot of focus is on fine-tuning and sharpening the business model. I think we are looking at a very long-term perspective. It's a long journey for us. There's, of course, has been numerous, investor interest, but right now that is not where the focus is. I think we have, Tata Group looks at things very long-term. For us, we just launched. Next coming quarters, we'll obsessively focus on getting our value proposition absolutely right, and strengthening our foundation, evolving our business model, and at the right time, we can talk to potential investor, but that's not a focus at this point.
Mr. Bansal, this is Tamanna here from ET Now. First question to you, sir. What's the hook? A super app generally has one product that customers come for, and then, they get immersed in the ecosystem. You have a host of equally strong brands. So what is the big pull which will bring customers in? And if you could provide any roadmap on what Mr. Chandra spoke about, adding on other products and service outside the Tata family. Thank you.
See, our strongest hook is NewPass, our loyalty program. It's much bigger than a loyalty program. NewPass is relevant at every shopping interaction customer can have in the digital space across all our participating brand, whether it's Big Basket, 1MG, Chroma, Taj Hotels. If you walk into an offline store, you can use NewPass and get reward points. These are the universally applicable reward points across the Tata Group today and eventually to a much larger ecosystem. The NewPass also has a built-in credit limit so that at the time of purchase, you can borrow instantly, leveraging a credit limit. So our intention is that over a period of time, NewPass becomes this top-of-mind instrument in consumers' mind. So every time I have a shopping need arises, I should think about whether I can use my NewPass. So I get some instant benefits. I can pull in from the credit limit. I can use it for a future purchase. So that's become first very strong hook. Second, we have number of categories, some of them very high frequency category. Grocery is one, which is once a week purchase frequency. And we have huge number of millions of people who shop for their groceries every single week from Big Basket, which is an integral part of the platform. So that becomes second important hook. We are actively working on a number of categories which may be relevant on a daily basis, weekly basis. So you will see the overall hook and the needs for people to use the app evolve in the coming quarters.
Good evening, gentlemen. This
Just
is
to add to that question, because NewPass is a flywheel, and you have to understand that you make 10 grocery purchases, you get new coins. That enables you to buy a shoe free in Tata Click. You again get new coins by buying, say, electronics. That enables you to get a flight free in Vistara. So you have to understand in that context how this flywheel works, and that's the hook. You keep on getting new coins, buy bigger, shop bigger, and that's the way it will work. No, we will see today. If you ask us, our selection of categories and the assortment that we have of products is fairly exhaustive. So Chroma itself sells from all the top sellers, like any other retailer. You look at 1MG, it sells all medicines. You look at Big Basket, it sells from all CPG and FMCG companies. So it is a very broad assortment that we already have. But we will continuously look at selection and choices of customers that we want to evolve with. And that's a journey, and that will evolve over a period of time.
good evening, gentlemen. This is Ashwin Mohan here from Money Control. Firstly, congratulations on the launch of the app. Taking off from what Tamanna was alluding to, Chairman Chandra during his speech referred to open architecture. Initially there were analysts who were wondering how would Tata Neu compare to, say, a neutral marketplace like, say, an Amazon? And to what level would there be exclusivity? Because the fear was that if there is exclusivity and if the brands and services are limited just to the house of Tatas, then that might, sort of reduce customer flexibility, customer choice, and maybe also have an impact on customer stickiness. So he alluded to open architecture. So therefore, taking off from what she was saying, when is it that Tata Neu sees itself in a comfortable space to move beyond exclusively Tata products and services? That's one question that I have in mind.
Yeah, I'll request Chandra to maybe take the question.
I'll take this question because what I said is being repeated by everyone. So, see, fundamentally, don't look at from the point of view of what is next. Please look at it from the point of view of what is the consumer looking for. So our evolution of the app will proceed along the lines of what need we have to meet. Then that will determine Yeah, definitely we'll have all the Tata brands on board. After that, what else we get from wherever will totally depend on what need we are trying to fulfill for the customer. It will be customer driven, not some contract driven.
So, Chandra, so just a follow-up question. He said that whenever the transition happens to be on the Tata's table, it will be customer-driven. It's clearly going to be tricky because, say, for example, Oberoi Hotels, which is a rival group, would they be comfortable being on Tata Neu? Indigo, AirAsia is obviously on that. Would they be comfortable selling their tickets on Tata Neu? So, how are you going to handle those transitions? I know this is something that is not on the table right now. I'm asking this question purely because Chandra made it very clear that it's going to be open architecture.
Yeah, just I think building upon what Chandra's articulated. See, if you look at if you use Tata Neu app and all the categories are listed. See, we already have numerous brands which are outside of Tata Group listed. So 1MG retails pharmacy and health and wellness products from variety of brands. Similarly, Big Basket retails all FMCG brands in the country. Right? Chroma retails all electronics brands in the country. Not all of those brands are owned by Tata Group or have even any minority investment. So I think we are already open architecture in terms of consumer choice available. Tomorrow, as we think of any category that evolves, if grocery has to evolve and we want to add more brands to Big Basket, we'll absolutely do so. It will be continuous process. It's not a major milestone that now we launch something outside the Tata stable. Already a vast majority of our selection comes from outside Tata Group. We have a roadmap. Every quarter we'll see launch of new categories. Some of the example you mentioned, we are thinking about them very actively. Ultimately, the selection criteria will be the consumer must get all choices available. We want to be consumer first platform and service every single need in the life of consumers. That will drive our category and selection strategy.
Hi, Mukesh, Samida from Economic Times. I've just been wondering all this while, and I mean, obviously Chandra alluded to media reports saying it's much delayed, etc. But it has been in the making for the past 2 years. And having seen this sector in the past decade, I mean, nobody's really been able to do a super app. I mean, everyone's sort of tried in various ways. It's only worked in China. Why is it that it's not a marketplace model, and why did the Tatas think of a super app model? Because there is absolutely no precedence of it working outside of China.
So I think Pradeep, please go ahead.
See, first of all, yeah. See, yes, there are successful super apps in China. See, what is that we are trying to do? We are, just a little bit step back and let's take out the word super app for the time. What is that we are trying to do? We are trying to create a one-stop place where consumers can come. We are trying to simplify the consumers' lives in doing so. And third is, we are giving them an extremely powerful value proposition through the form of New Pass for them to come. That's our core vision and goal. And that's what we are focused on. Right. Yes, it's the super app because it houses all the categories together. But that's the goal with which we are going towards, and that's our journey towards.
So, I think the question here is that usually super app is frequented when you have a WeChat, you have a messaging app, or you have a Tencent, sort of doing it with a bunch of these products which are daily use products. While you have a New Pass, which is more of a loyalty program, my brand interface with which of these brands is sort of 10 times during the day, none.
So I want to give a data point just to prove. We ran a pilot for 4 or 5 months. 54% of our transaction that happened used new coins as a loyalty program. So while you will say, yes, it is another loyalty program, the hypothesis that we built this whole app on, which is that New Pass will be the core asset and the hook which will draw customers, was quite proven well in the pilot that we ran. Because more than half of the customers earn points, burn points across all the brands. And that was the core hypothesis on which we did the pilot, to test this. And the hypothesis was fairly well established. So we do believe that this will pave the right asset for customers to come.
Yeah.
Just to add to that, Samida, I think, see, there is no established definition of super app that you must first have every single day content or WhatsApp or, those kind of use cases, right? It's a super app ultimately in our definition that we want to cover majority of consumer consumption patterns. The ARPU during our pilot that we have seen, it's a 3-4 times what you will see on compare platform. And the reason for that, we have huge depth of category coverage. If you look at all the categories we have just launched with, not even the categories which are going to be, across various product commerce categories like electronics, grocery, and pharmacy, services categories like travel, etc. We don't have a solution in the country which has such a width of coverage. And with the new pass, with the trust in the Tata brand, with the omni-channel presence. So I am, as a platform relevant in your life when you're shopping online, but also relevant when you check into Taj hotels or fly into one of the group airlines or walk into Chroma stores. So we are super app in that respect, that we are very relevant to consumers' life at various touch points and covering variety of consumption patterns, because the group has a lot of depth of category in those which have been built over last decades. I should also mention the depth in financial services, which is a big part of everyday consumption people go through, your bill payment, micro insurance, micro lending. We already have all the manufacturing capabilities. This app and the platforms putting all together and creating a simple interface and simple loyalty construct to avail all the services. Therefore, we believe, we have the right to be that super app in the country.
Hi, sir.
Thank you. Sorry to interject. We'll just take 2 last questions here.
Hi, sir. Utkarsh side from ET Now. My first question was on the timelines of the remaining Tata Group products, whether it be Tata Motors, Tanishq, Titan, and Air India, and Vistara, by when that will come. The second question is obviously about what everybody has been asking now. As you said, Mr. Chandra said, it's a journey. What is the destination which you are really trying to reach, say, in the 3-4 years? Today, the experience, if I use the Tata Neu app, is one is obviously of convenience of all the Tata Group apps and the Tata Neu Pass. Say 4 years, 5 years down the line, in terms of experience, how will I see the Tata Neu app as?
So to answer your first question, we are working on all the brands that you said, and you will see it in the next coming months, onboarding of some of the brands that you mentioned, which is Tata Motors and all of that. So it is all in the will happen in the next couple of months. To your second on what you said, what is the vision, or 5 years, what is the experience, right? Yeah. So see, one is we talked about products, services, financial. It is we want it to be in the hands of every single Indian consumer. That's our vision. Every single Indian consumer should wake up in the morning, use this app for doing or throughout the day for doing whatever he has to do throughout his life in a very simple way, convenient way. And to add to that, what Chandra said, if we can build the AI-enabled assistant to aid him doing these tasks easier, that's what we are on that same journey. In the hands of every Indian consumer.
Pratik here, this is Sajid here. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is Sajid here from Bloomberg Coin. In a build-up to Tata Digital created an ecosystem by acquiring many digital company or tech companies in that. Where do you see there is a gap as of now for your app or any area where you need to do it? And secondly, if you can elaborate a little bit more on the app economics. How will the app make money? I understand that you have individual agreements with individual companies, but how will the app make money or the super app make money from this? First question.
Yeah. So I think the first question was, can you just repeat the first question? I heard
in a build-up to this, you have acquired a lot of tech companies and digital assets. Where do you see there is a gap as of now within for the super app?
No, so as Chandra said, last 2 years, we have debated enough on what should be the construct of the app. So it is not about that gap. There is no gap that we have. We have a very clear roadmap that we want to pursue. We so today we have launched with product commerce and some services commerce. You will see us launching new categories in the next 1 to 2 years. So as such, there is no gap. It is in our plan and it will happen in the next 1 or 2 years. To your second question, how will the app make money? Look at it as overall Tata Digital first. Overall Tata Digital consists of all the companies that we have, Chroma, Big BB, 1MG and Tata Neu. It's an ecosystem. And we have, without going into too much of details, our aim is to become a profitable business, driving growth, simplifying the lives of the consumers. That's our aim.
Okay. With this,
And we are in that
Hi,
journey
can I
towards
just last question. Here's Shivani from Business Standard. Over here, sir. Here. Right. A very simple, quick questions for you. What has been the number of people or users who have transitioned from using single app of Tata brands to Tata Neu, if there is a number that you can share? And Mukesh, this one is for you. You've been in this e-commerce segment for a long time. One of the criteria for usage of apps is the size of it. The way I look at it is 415 MB is what I see on Play Store. Meesho, for comparison, is 45 MB. You're talking about taking this to users across India. So what's the plan over there, if you could share something?
Yeah, on the cross usage front, during pilot stage, we have seen that our single category customers have increased from 10% to 30%. So that is substantial increase. People who were loyal Tata Group consumers, but interacting with only one brand, just 10% interacting with two brands, we have seen that number jump to over 30%. It's very early, I think, to see that data in the national launch. It's just been a week, so we'll be watching that, but we expect over a period of time this number can go up to as high as 50%, and that is a big consumer unlock and consumer convenience that Chandra talked about. I think on the app size, etc., right now, too early to comment. So first of all, the app size being very small, that is that was relevant 5 years ago, but right now, phone memory, etc., so large, it doesn't really matter that much. I think a lot of our consumers today are tier 1, tier 2, 4G bandwidth and so on. And app is very much work in progress. So two things will happen. I think as we scale up our footprint to across India, we'll certainly optimize and bring down the app size to, few hundred MB. But I think with the, advent of 5G coming up, I think these concepts will go away. It's more about how deeply native the experience is, how seamless, how fast the performance and so on. And those are the areas we are focusing on. I think app size optimization is just one of very small parameters that are
then just one last question after I take the questions online. Yeah, so I'll just read out the questions. So, how's the app expected to benefit the smaller businesses, stroke retailers? This question is from Neha Diwan, Economic Times, Delhi. So, Prateek, if you would like to answer this. How's the app expected to benefit the smaller businesses or retailers?
See, currently the way we are working, so some of the companies like Big Basket or Chroma already have large B2B businesses, which means that the small sellers and the retailers are already supplying to some of these big brands. So as our footprint increases, as our growth, in our growth, all these sellers that are small sellers that are selling to some of these large brands like Big Basket, 1MG or Chroma will obviously benefit in the same way.
Okay, the next question is, some of the most used super apps in India are payments and financial services app. What is your focus on financial services, UPI, and how do you plan to gain market share? This is Priyanka Iyer, Money Control. So Modan, would you like to answer this question?
Yeah. As far as the payments and financial services is concerned, On the financial service side, let me just start that as Mukesh and our group chairman has said, as to lending, democratizing access to credit is one of our core themes. That's why lending is credit is an integral part of the new pass. And that's a very strong proposition that we believe. And if you look at other areas like insurance, for example, we already have strong categories where embedded insurance, embedded financial products are very amenable. For example, electronics, for example, travel, for example, health. Our core theme about financial services, how do we marry commerce and financial services in an integrated manner? How do we embed financial services within the commerce journey? And payments is going to act as the gateway for financial services, so that when you check out, when you want to pay, is the right financial instrument or the right insurance product, is it there, which is embedded as a part of your checkout experience.
The next question is from Pranav Balakrishnan, the Ken. How many transactions have been fulfilled and which brands are driving them? Also, which external brands will be part of Tata Neu and how will this pan out?
I think I already answered in the previous one. We have 2.2 million enrollments, a significant number of transactions happening. In fact, we have been pleasantly surprised by the number of people that are shopping on our app. And I also like to say the people who are shopping on our app are actually shopping across the categories. So it's a very heartening to see that they are booking hotels on IHCL, they're buying groceries on Big Basket, massively they're buying electronics from Chroma, they are from 1mg, the number of orders are very high. So it's a very, very good sign that they are really doing what Mukesh said, multi-category shopping across all the brands. So that's the first one. Right?
Which external brands will be part of Tata Neu?
I think we have said that we have a roadmap towards onboarding new categories, towards onboard, and in that journey, if we have to partner with any new brands, we will do it, external brands. But it is in the works today and will evolve.
Okay. Just two last questions here. Does Tata Digital have a unified delivery fleet? Do you plan to unify it across brands?
So we have started, the companies that are part of Tata Digital, 1mg, Big Basket, Chroma, they already have very, very robust supply chain. So we are piggybacking on that and unifying the supply chain into next generation ultra-fast supply chain. Already done a lot of work over the last 6 to 9 months. Hari from Big Basket was here, who is leading that effort. Big Basket has pioneered ultra-fast delivery in India last, 5-6 years, where very predictable, high volume grocery delivery. So which we believe is the state-of-the-art supply chain in the country. We are now dramatically enhancing that and using that as the backbone for all of our supply chain needs across Tata Digital categories.
This question was from Binu Paul, Business Today. Okay. Last one, what's the overall investment? What will happen to existing native apps? This is from Rajkumar PTI.
Yeah, so as we have been saying, we are committed to build a world-class consumer app. So towards that, whatever investments we have to do, we will do it. To the second question on what will happen to the individual apps, I must say that each of the individual apps today are very successful apps, whether it is Big Basket and 1mg. Each one of them have a very large base of customers. So while we may make some of the experiences of these apps native, but we truly believe our new pass construct, which is across our ecosystem, whether you shop in Big Basket, whether you shop in 1mg, whether you shop in Tata Neu, actually it is an exponential. You should look at it as exponential. It is not 1 + 1 = 2, which is Big Basket plus Tata Neu. The effect of new pass will have an exponential impact on the traffic and the GMV of all the brands together. So it is not either one app or two apps. We look at it as an exponential impact.
So with this, we end our Q&A. So thank you, Mukesh. Thank you, Prateek.
Thank you.
And we'd like to thank all of you